into our newsroom, we're hearing from the security officer who was shot at McKinley High School. He's speaking to our Gabrielle Mediak about what happened yesterday afternoon when he was shot and a student was stabbed. Gabby, what does he say?
Mel, Kelsey, I just spoke to him moments ago. Brad Walker tells me that he is a security officer who was shot in the left leg yesterday. He says he's thankful to be alive. It was a very scary situation. He's 27 years old. He's been working here at the high school for just about a month now, so relatively new to the school, but he is honored by the community outreach. So many people have been reaching out to him to get his side of the story, to make sure he's okay. Now, he was running to that student that was being attacked to help him, and he got shot before he could get to that 14-year-old student. Again, he tells me he's thankful to be alive and that the bullet did not hit his bone or his arteries. Also this morning, the 14-year-old student, we have an update on him. He was out of surgery and his condition has been stabilized. Surgeons were able to determine during the surgery that the boy was stabbed multiple times and not shot. He is still being treated at Oshai Children's Hospital this morning. Now, this incident happened at 3:45 yesterday afternoon right outside the high school here on Elmwood Avenue. It began as a dispute that took a very violent turn with multiple shots fired. And this morning, the suspect is still at large.
This is a crime scene now, and we're trying to piece together all the information that we can to figure out exactly what happened and to make sure that we can all partner and work together to prevent these types of incidents from occurring again in the future.
More than 100 students were inside the school participating in after-school activities when this incident happened. They were held inside and police released them to their parents carefully at around 7 last night. Again, that suspect is still at large. They're still also working on a motive. If you've got any information, you're asked to call Buffalo Police or 911. But again, we spoke with Brad Walker, who tells me he was a security guard that was shot in the leg yesterday. He's recovering this morning, and he's thankful that he's doing okay, and for all of the community outreach that he's received. He tells me he's been called a hero, and he's really just thankful to be alive this morning. We'll send it back to you.
We're thankful as well, Gabby. Thank you. Glad to hear he's doing okay. All right, many community leaders, of course, troubled by what happened yesterday at McKinley High School. Some are offering solutions to reduce violence, and Pastor James Giles with Buffalo Peacemakers joins us on the phone right now to talk about this. Thank you so much for being here, Pastor.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. So tell us about what your original thoughts were when you heard this had happened at McKinley High School yesterday.
So we had been kind of monitoring McKinley High School. We have safe passage with Mad Dads and Peacemakers out on the corner because we realized that McKinley was experiencing something that we had not seen typically from that particular school over the years. So there's a chemistry that's in the school where it's become a little more hostile environment, you know, and it's really not noted for that in past years. So we were concerned about the element inside school. We pretty much stopped them from fighting, getting together. We identified the crews. We engaged the young people. I have 6 of my youth that attend that program from my HEAT program that we ran last summer, and who said they didn't even go to school because in anticipation of some other type of violent act. So we are deeply concerned about McKinley. Certainly want to lift up prayers for the family members that got these relatives that are experiencing violence. The security guard, thank you for him being, for what he did, as well as the family of the 14-year-old. We're lifting them up in prayer.
I just want to interrupt you. I'm sorry about that. I want to ask about solutions and what you think should change immediately, not just here at McKinley, but all across the board with our school system in Western New York, because it seems like we need to take immediate action so this never happens again. But how do we take that action?
So we have presented a plan to the superintendent relative to what it is that I believe. I've been working around schools since the old Bennett High School days in Lafayette when they used to be problematic. Been working counseling youth for 28 years. I've seen a change in the way in the children's attitude. The trauma has gotten far more fierce and intense because youth do not just randomly do things, So what would bring our children to the point where they feel like they have to harm each other? I mean, physically harm each other, and sometimes a deadly way. So that's a public health issue to me. And so there are some programs that community groups have offered to the Buffalo public system, that school system, that we are willing to come in and we want to do something and we want to come in and help, because what has happened is the system thinks that, having security guards, and don't get me wrong, we need security guards and we need school research officers and all of that. Yeah, all of that is needed. But when you have community people that knows these individuals out in the streets that have been on the corner for the last 8 years on these corners, making sure that they're able to exit schools safely and really have developed relationships with them, when you have that element, that's capable of being inside the school and working as mentors and working as individuals to reduce conflict, restorative justice models and restorative justice process. I'm talking about really trained individuals that really know what the restorative process looks like and what it should be, how it should be implemented. When you have that available to you and refuse to capitalize on such a thing while this is going on, that's insanity to me. We want to do something. We are in conversation with the superintendent about having such models come to school in a comprehensive way, not in a small way. We can't just chip this off, and that saddens me about the system and about society. They want to try to chip something off that is a massive problem. It's not just happening here. It's happening all over this nation, and the powers that be act like that this is something random that's just atypical of a community that's deprived, or urban community. But no, we are seeing evidence that people are getting more violent, and something has to be done in a collective way for that.
Pastor James Giles, thank you so much from the Buffalo Peacemakers for your input on this somber morning. We appreciate you talking to us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Pastor. We'll continue to provide updates on this developing story on air throughout the morning and online at WIVB.com. It is 7:40 now. We'll take a live look out.